What in the 20s is going
in the
on?
20s?
Think about
The 20s, baby. Plenty.
What in the 20s is going here for my 20s, baby? This is the 20s.
Welcome back to the podcast. I'm your host, Zama Mkize, and this is What's in the 20s, a podcast where you listen to me grow through it, baby. On today's episode, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I'm so gassed. We have author, founder, YouTuber, entrepreneur, chartered accountant, Nokuhle Kumalo. Welcome.
I can't keep a straight face. Like I'm gagged.
Yeah.
How are you, Zama?
I'm so good. I'm so happy to see you. It is a wonderful day.
I was so happy to actually get to hear the go through the
babe. Oh, you watched the podcast?
Yes, of
course. Crazy.
So,
it's my favorite part. It's like a groove, man.
Like and it's so consistent, and even your intro. So obviously, I was doing my research. I was like, actually,
you were doing your research on me.
This is my vibe.
Is it your vibe? I'm so happy to have you here.
I'm happy to be here.
Wow, you have just published. How do you feel?
Okay, I'm kidding. I'm excited. The worst part is over, which is writing.
Okay.
And I'm saying this because I know you have a book coming out soon.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm also blasting you and you haven't actually announced. I don't know.
No, we have announced. We have announced we're going there. But yeah, but how does it feel to like actually...
It's
out there.
I'm calm.
I've
now,
read
now
it.
I'm doing the fun stuff.
What is the fun stuff?
Which is meeting people like you, talking about the book. You know, so it's good. I'm excited.
We're gonna go right into it because I have so many questions.
Okay,
I'm so eager. Like I couldn't sleep even last night. I'm like, I need to get things answered.
Disclaimer.
Okay.
I last read this book in October and it was the week of my wedding.
So congratulations!
Thank you. So if you ask me any specifics,
okay.
I mean, I wrote the book. I know what I wrote.
We have the book right here. We're gonna go to the page and check it out. But I want to know so much, especially because I have constantly been saying on the podcast that in 2026, I want to learn how to manage my money better. Like that's something I've always struggled with. That's something I don't know for the life of me, have never even like put into perspective, like how important having like financial literacy is and stuff like that. And so when I saw this book, I was like, the timing, it felt like such alignment for me and for everybody that like actually views and listens and stuff to the podcast. But like, I want to start from like, when we're small. Mm-hmm. How does the way that we see money, our relationship with money, all of that affect us as adults,
Yeah, so obviously, no one teaches us about money. So we kind of see it through the way our parents carry themselves around money, our aunts and uncles, our friends, like, your close circle. And this can be a great thing, but it can also be a bad thing because obviously if you're seeing people who are really financially responsible, who are always trying to learn about their money, you tend to develop that as well. But also if you see people who splurge and blow their money, that might also form part of your view of money. Because remember, you're impressionable. The first few years of your life, you're very impressionable. But a lot of us will have somewhat of a balance where you do see people who blow the money, but also you do see people who are constantly saving. But the funny thing is that none of those are good. You need a balance. You need to be somewhere in the middle.
It's so crazy because I have a friend, right, who basically says to me, Zama, even if I can afford something, I'm always constantly thinking about like how much money I would be losing if I spent it and this and that. Like it's just always on their mind. Like they can't do it. They can't bring themselves to do it and stuff like that. And I am on the complete opposite spectrum. Like as soon as I have money in my account, I think I can afford anything and everything, And I think that's also like something that makes me feel confused. Like, how do you know if you can afford something actually?
So your friend has a scarcity mindset and you have an abundant mindset. So they believe that they'd rather save everything. They never want to not have. Whereas you're like, money comes and goes. Money comes back. And both of those people are fine, but bring it in the middle. Everything with moderation. So I think don't view money as something that stresses you like a lot. Like if you're constantly obsessed about keeping it, you actually don't spend. And you know how they say you usually have to spend money to make money?
Sure,
I believe that. But obviously the way you spend it is obviously the big thing. You're not spending it on consumables. You're not spending it on popping bottles and all of that, which you can if that's something you enjoy. But I think a lot of people want to do everything You want the nice car, you want the nice house, you want the luxury bags, you want your kids to go to a very good school. Like you want everything, and that's great. But if you have limited resources, you have to compartmentalize and choose what is most important for me right now. If you're a parent, maybe your kids are probably the bigger priority. But if you don't have a kid, maybe you can blow it on a luxury bag. Like life will go on. Life goes on. You don't need to, So ask yourself, where are you? What's important? If you love to travel. But if you don't like to travel, then...
But this is the thing though. My problem is I can validate why I need to buy everything that I can validate. Like I can reason in my mind, oh, of course I need it. It's different from the other thing that I have and stuff. So I get like what you mean. You're like an abundance mindset, but like when is it problematic? Because for me, I always wish I could have savings. I'm always like, no, I have money, I can spend it. But it's like, I wish that I, was more responsible and thought about future me, but I'm not thinking about it. I'm thinking about like in the present, how happy I'd be to have this.
So you probably need to, sit down and ask yourself, what's your long-term goal? And then roll it back. Because sometimes people just say save, or invest. But there's no reason why you're doing that. And then that's why it becomes so boring and you'd rather spend the money right now because right now is more exciting. For example, I know my dad used to encourage saving. And he'd be like, you need to save. If you don't know how to save from your pocket money of 20 rand, you're going to struggle to save when you have 20 million. And I agree. I see what he was saying. But now that I save and invest with something in mind, so for me, I don't want to work like all the time. I want to work when I want to work. And I do love to work.
Sure. Okay.
Which is funny. I'm such a hardworking person and I really wish I could just chill and not be. But I also value my flexibility. So I want to work when I want to work. And if I don't, I don't. So I know when I save or invest, I'm buying myself future days off where if I don't want to work for 6 months, I can take 6 months off. So that's exciting for me because it means, oh my goodness, I can have a kid, I can go on holiday, I can reinvent myself. Like it's such an exciting thing to think about, which makes it easier for me to put away the money because it's for me.
Yeah.
But if you're just saving in general, just because you were told to save, it's not exciting.
At all. And you don't have anything to look forward to, I think it's just like, and I think another thing that I also struggle with, right, especially when I was like in varsity, we used to always say to each other, like, just spend now, we're so young, money comes back, like who cares and all of that. And so this podcast is called One in the 20s, right? So I'm assuming a lot of people here are like, in the varsity and so young and all of that kind of stuff. And I'm just thinking like, how do we learn to still enjoy life, right? To still be in the present and enjoy our youth and all of that while still like, maturing in a bit and having that responsibility. Because for me, I didn't have that at all. Like I was just like, we're young, let's live, let's listen.
That's a very important thing to bring up actually, because again, look at where you are in life. If you are a student, I won't come on here and act like I was saving every single rand when I was a student. But I did have some investment that used to go off automatically. And guys, it was so like, it was small. Like, okay, it was significant when I was young. No, it wasn't significant. It was an amount, okay? I could have spent that amount on Uber Eats at university. But that amount used to go off into some random unit trust that I signed up for, whatever.
It was automated.
Yeah, it was automated, so I never really saw it. So it always went off from the very first moment I stepped into university. It didn't mean a lot to me then because it was like whatever. But then when I started my first job, I was obviously moving into a new apartment in a new city. There's lots of things to get, like a bed and all of that. And then suddenly I remembered, oh my goodness, I have this random thing that has been going off. And suddenly I was able to like furnish some of the things. Obviously my parents also gave me some, and also I had like a part of my salary. But it was so reassuring knowing that I have some of the money. And it was, I'll give you the amount. It was 250 rand that was going off every single month.
For what, 3 years or?
4 years.
Okay. Wow.
It's still going off. I still haven't cancelled it because it's just like,
oh wow.
The alternative of me cancelling it is me spending it randomly on Uber Eats, like I said, or like 2 drinks at a place, like, So it's just like, whatever, just keep it going. So doing that little thing where it doesn't really shift the needle, but when you look at it later on, I think now it's been over 7 years, actually probably 9 years, the amount is like, it's considerable because also it's the money you put in plus the growth. And I think that's also what helps me as an investor. I can see that actually, if I calculate 250 times 12 times 9 years, I should have this amount, but I have this amount. So that's exciting. Imagine if it was 2,500.
Sure. Were you always like this, like even as a child, like with your spending money and all of that? Because how did you know that from the beginning of varsity you wanted to have an investment account or a savings account?
To be quite honest, I think it's my dad. My dad kind of drove it into us. Like my dad grew up, I think my dad was quite well off. Like we're also fine. But I think my dad's parents gave him a lot of money. And he feels like he didn't do well enough with that money. So he always pushed it into us that he won't give us too much money because he feels like too much access can confuse you. He always says he picked up bad habits. Like he started smoking and he was like, can you imagine? I was just burning my money away. So I was like, oh goodness. So he will give you money, but you need to explain to him what you're going to do with it. So that's also why I'm such a good talker, because I can spin I can spin why going to the mall with my friends will help me from a societal perspective. It'll help me with my social skills and develop me as an individual.
Wow.
Let me tell you.
I would make PowerPoint presentations. Literally, and I was like showing them like this is wow.
This is the movie we're going to watch, and it's a really great movie because it's going to help me with the development of, you know. So,
I love that.
No, but also So, I think my dad helped us with that. Like the money is available as long as you can justify why you need it. So when you say things like, oh, I want to invest, of course you're going to get that money. Oh, I want to buy a book. Of course you're going to get that money,
What I like about like automating, money and stuff like that, I feel like we're always going to find how to explain this. I feel like if the money is gone, you're still able to, sustain yourself with the money you do have, right? And like, if you're thinking about having to physically go put it away, it feels like you're losing something, but like it's already just out of there and stuff like that. I think that's such a great hack to it.
Think about how we pay for your Netflixes and other debit orders, like without thinking about it. But when it comes to your own savings and investments, it's like this big decision that you have to make every single month. And it's like, what? I really hope that this will be worth it. The alternative, those that our parents used to sign up for a lot of policies and stuff like funeral policies and life policies, which are obviously great. Like we speak about them in the book as well. But I think back then there was like a lot of oversubscription. People get too many things. You'll find that someone has like 5 funeral covers. Sure. And it's like when you die, not all of them can, chip in. And the thing is, if you lapse, if you forget to pay like one time, your policy can actually disappear and all the payments you've made all these years, gone. Whereas with an investment, and obviously this is not a debate to say investment versus policy, both are, both have their place in society. But with an investment, if you skip 1 month, if you say, nope, I actually can't do this month, it's not like the money's going to disappear. It's still yours.
Sure. Let's speak about policies then.
Okay.
We, in the book, there's a part where you speak about the fact that lots of people my age, around our age and stuff, are just not taking out health insurance anymore. Is this a problem? Is this a crisis?
It is. It is. And actually, let's roll it back. Even medical aid. Medical aid is something a lot of people are not taking up. And I get it. It's expensive. It is expensive.
Crazy.
But the problem now that's happening is that because not a lot of people are taking up medical aid, like young people like us, we were meant to be the cushion for older people. So the way that we explain it in the book, the way that the whole industry works is that everybody pays their amount. And obviously actuaries have these special calculations where they determine that, okay, we're probably going to have this many claims in a year, blah, blah, blah. And majority of those claims usually come from your older people. Older people are on medical aid. They have been paid. But us as the younger people who should be now cushioning that blow, because you and I wouldn't get as sick as an older person. If we're not signing up, it means that the only money that medical aid is getting is from the older people, and those people are already using it. So there's not enough coming in, but there's a lot going out. And then that's why we have like these hectic premiums, like they're now going up quite a lot. And I think medical aid is also, like the industry is also looking to impose very high penalties for late joiners as young people, because it's like you think you can go without medical aid until you're 35 or 40, and then you just want to come So we're throwing off these calculations. So it's going to be interesting. But obviously there's a lot of reasons why this is happening. Also unemployment.
It's crazy.
People can't get jobs because older people are still working. And you need them to leave so that we can get absorbed in. But they can't leave because their kids are not working. It's a catch-22.
And is there a solution to this? Is there anything you can recommend or suggest, or you just feel like
hell?
Because
I think more business, like more entrepreneurs. A lot of people are already running their own things, like on the side, startups, like informally, and then they hire people. It's obviously not as glamorous as working in corporate and all of that, but it actually does help, like with the unemployment. So, I mean, I'm trying to do my part. That's why I kind of left my job and started my own thing, because in the future, I do hope that I can actually employ a couple of people.
Oh, wow.
Did have a few interns here and there, obviously also to train people, but I think young people need to stop waiting for opportunities and kind of make them. It's a tough one.
That's a sensitive one. But like I'm hearing you, and I think it's really great when you're able to be like the author of your own fate. It's like when you're able to just take things into your own hands and decide.
It's great, but it's also stressful.
That part.
Yeah.
It doesn't get easier just because like now you're the one in charge and stuff like that. Like,
if anything, I feel like it's worse because if you are not working, your money will also not be working. But then that's why we have things like investing, because what people need to realize is that you can't save your way to wealth. Unless if you are already starting with a big chunk. Like if you're a billionaire, you can save yourself into a millionaire, 100%. But you can't take 1,000 and save it and hope that it'll be 1,000,000. You'd have to live very, very long.
Wow. So you have to do something.
Your money has to continue to work. When people take up side hustles, I love side hustles. But when people say multiple streams of income, it's also multiple streams of stress. I love it, but I also don't want to tell a half story. You need to know that that's going to happen. But what people need to do is now find ways to passively make more money, where you're not losing hours in your day, but your money is still working, which is where investing comes in. And when we say investing, it doesn't always have to be a big company on the JSE.
Yeah.
It can actually be your friend's business or your sibling's business. You just need to make sure it makes sense. Don't go around donating money, please. I don't donate money. It needs to make sense. You also need to understand how you're going to get your money back. They need to understand that they need to pay you back. This is not like a donation.
Yeah.
But when you give someone who has time and they can make money, they just are like lacking the financial resource. And if you have it, they can run fast and then come back and pay you. So,
that's brilliant. With investing, where do you even start? Because that was something that overwhelmed me, you know, like there's so many ways to do it, like, you know, and I'm just like, where do I even begin? What app am I meant to download? Like, where do I
I get you. And firstly, disclaimer, this is not financial advice. This is a conversation between me and Zama.
Let's go.
No, but I'm saying that because also investing depends on the type of person you are. And obviously that's not the response that people want.
Yeah.
It depends. No, come on, tell me. It depends. For example, if you're already working somewhere and you're contributing towards your retirement, that's a great way to start. That is investing. People forget that is investing. And that actually has quite a high return, because if you put in R1, usually your company will also put in R1. They'll match it to a limit, of course. But that's like 100% return already. And then if you want to add on from whatever your retirement, you want other things. You know, people love saying, I'm a shareholder of Spotify. I'm a shareholder of Lomaku, if we ever are public. That's where now you'd go onto like these brokers that are listed with the JSE. Obviously, you have to check that it's a FSP, financial services provider, with the FSP number, just to make sure that you're not investing in a scam.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of scams currently online. But there are checks that you can do, and I do cover them in the book. I think we even had like a mini picture of what the search function looks like. So yeah, but at just top of my head, the current platforms that people use are usually your Easy Equities, your Frank, your Satrix. What else? I think there's also another one, Brockstock. There's a couple of them, but obviously always check if they're FSP registered. And don't just take my word from it just because I've said it here.
And you can invest as little as you have, or
usually from as little as 10 rand.
Wow.
And that's where I started. So when I started investing outside of the unit trust, I was putting in 10 rand, but I was telling people, I've invested.
I got some.
It would also encourage bad behavior, I'll say. Sometimes I'd invest in like a certain restaurant and then I'd go to that restaurant and be like, I'm a shareholder. Just here to, grow my wealth. So and when people are asking, what should you invest in? I always say, do the stuff that you understand, that you use.
Yeah.
If you know that, this lotion is so great and you believe in it, put your money
like
there.
You're speaking directly to me.
Really? Okay.
There's nothing I love more than like skincare and moisturizer and all of that kind of stuff. Okay. That's so...
I can tell. Your skin is beautiful. I can tell.
Thank you. I was saying the same thing about you also when we were looking at the skins. I was like, it's just...
No,
so
I can tell.
Thank you so much.
I didn't get the memo. I would have wiped off my makeup. You see, we would have...
We both should have come out barefaced and all.
Next time, because this is not the only time, I'm inviting myself to the podcast.
This is the beginning of many. No,
next time we must coordinate so that I can also come in like, at leisure wear. We're wearing blue, so it's off to a good start. But
I feel like we're going somewhere. I like this. I want to speak about what you said.
Nokuhle Kumalo.
Let's go. I want to speak about how you mentioned that you got married, right? And this is so funny because after reading the chapter about it, right, I called my dad and I was like, I don't know if I want to get married.
Really?
Specifically, I mean, in the financial terms.
Okay.
Right? And
I hope I'm not the one who scared you. Oh my gosh.
No. Let's go into it, all right?
Okay, let's unpack
it. In
it.
2026, should we still be getting married in community of property?
It depends. Guys, this is why they say don't take financial advice off of random videos that maybe even I do, because we are all different people.
Yeah.
If you and your partner on the same wavelength, on the, whatever, might not matter so much, but you'd obviously have to understand fully how much debt do you each have, what are your assets, do you stand to gain anything from your family? Because, also like, and as women, families tend to be weird about inheritance and stuff the moment you leave the house because you're no longer one of us. So if you are in community or property, it gives them even more hesitation because obviously if they give it to you, it's going to be half your husband's, whatever they give you. So if you know that there's a chance that you're going to get left out from that, you can then say, no, listen, if you give it to me, it'll be mine, type of thing. You have that in place. But if you are in business, let's say you're in business, you're an author now and all of that, your husband might not, this is also me assuming, your partner might not want to actually be exposed to the risks that you might be exposed to. And even as a business owner, like for example, I'll speak to myself, if my business were to touch wood, not do well, I would hate for my entire family structure to be disrupted because my husband has his own stable things and all of that. So the protection there would be if they come for me, at least they can't touch my husband. And then at least our kids will still continue. And I don't have kids. I don't have kids, but that's my long-term goal. So from that perspective, separating it would make sense. But then if you want to be a stay-at-home mom, if you want to...
The dream.
And let me tell you, I also thought it was the dream, but I actually realized I'm too busy of a body to be a stay-at-home mom. So out of my mind.
You got things to do.
Nah. I remember I took a month off and my now husband, then boyfriend, said, no, just come chill for a month. I wrote the Facebook. I was meant to chill. I was meant to be living my best Cape Town girlfriend. No, I wrote a book.
Yeah.
So clearly I don't know how to rest. But if you are wanting to be a stay-at-home mom, out of community property will not help you because you are not economically active, I'm assuming. And should anything happen and you guys split, you will leave with nothing. So you probably want to be in community so that you get half of whatever that they're doing. And it's reasonable because obviously this person is able to perform at their job or whatever because you're making their food.
Yeah.
You're looking after the kids. So really do speak to legal counsel and ask what everything means. And I think a lot of people are scared because of how do I bring up the conversation of the type of the contract like that we're gonna get. No, it's the way you base it. It's not sign a prenup or No. No. There are ways to approach a conversation. And no one plans for divorce. No one gets married thinking about when it ends. But a similar concept is no one gets medical aid hoping to get sick. But should you get sick, at least you know you're covered. So think about it that way.
But what if, what happens if you guys are not on the same page, and this is like, it's nearing the wedding date, and stuff. But when it comes to the contract and everything,
I feel like it shouldn't have gotten there. I feel like after year 1, you guys should be able to have full on conversations. And obviously you're not going to win from the first conversation. It takes time. But I think if you guys are getting married and that's such a big conversation and that you're struggling to get past, maybe just pause a bit. And I think that's also why they recommend premarital counseling. But I have my own thoughts on premarital counseling. I feel like people always speak about it from a religious angle or like from a cultural angle, but not really from a financial angle. And I think that's really important because top 2 reasons why people like divorce is money. But no one wants to address the elephant in the room. It's taboo to speak about money. No.
How do I even ask? What if, in the beginning, we're in the same mind and stuff, but during the relationship, things change, Are we allowed to change our mind,
Of course. Okay. Of course you are. But you also need to bring your partner along. You can't change your mind and expect them to just go with the flow. You also need to give them time to process, give them time to also potentially come to that mind. And if they never come to that same mind, then that's also okay. You can't force them. I get to when you change your mind every 2 seconds. So
I am now curious about weddings, right? Because we know how exorbitant they can be.
Yep.
Where did you stand on having a wedding? Was it like a big one, an intimate one? Especially like, in our culture and stuff, like we have 10.
We have multiple weddings.
Yeah, so many different exchanges of stuff. What are your thoughts on it?
Listen, I love this question.
Okay.
Because when I wrote the book, I was still planning the wedding. And in the book, I speak about how you need to like understand where you are, understand your, and I was like, also make your family understand, blah, 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 blah. We're pushing for slightly intimate, like, the book was really cute.
Yes.
When I was proofreading the week of my wedding, I had to say edit. And I left it in the book, like it's written, edit, disclaimer, I did not have an intimate wedding. It did not go according to my plan. However, people put their money where their mouths were. So I don't complain. I actually have no problem. So with weddings, obviously it's a joyous occasion. People are happy. People want to celebrate. But I think people can get carried away. And one of my things was I don't want to go into debt for a wedding. Yes. I do not want to take a loan for a wedding. I just feel like it's starting off on a really bad foot. And then another thing I said was I don't want my parents to take any loans. And this is something I was like, actually, I might be, planning, but am I sure that my parents are going to be fine? So I was like, hey guys, this is lobola. This is the wedding. We have 10 months. This is how much we need to save every month. Trust me, no one wanted to have the conversations. No one was entertaining my mini meetings.
Really?
Because no one wants to speak about money. Also, things happened. Come on, relax. Everything will work out. But when it came to our wedding, I will say our family really pulled through like quite a lot. Like we also had our own thing that we put in, of course. Like even with my husband, I know lobola was like quite a big thing that it must be him. But like with gifting and stuff, that's where obviously family can help. And even with me, for my cute reception area, I was like, I don't want to be asking people for opinions. I'll take that. But everything else, food, drinks, whatever, people chipped in. My family chipped in. Our families chipped in. And I think that was actually quite a great start for us, because it reminded us that actually a wedding really isn't about the two of us. It's the joining of two families. So I think families need to remember that. Even couples need to remember it. If people have a lot of opinions, and they will, because I actually don't know what happens about weddings. Like, people lose their mind. People become so self-centered and forget the couple. But if people want to have opinions, they must pay.
Yeah.
And yeah, let me tell you, I love love, but also love money. So if you want to put your money into my love story, shout out. So I think that's what people need to remember.
Speaking about everybody and their opinions and all of that, you know, I want to speak about black tax, you know, our money going elsewhere other than ourselves and stuff. Tough conversations again, you know. When should we not? How to have the conversation? When is it actually like, this is unfair? This is actually like, yeah.
I think I hate the title black tax because it sounds so negative. Umuntu ngumuntu ngabantu.
Yes.
For you to get to where you are, there are people who've helped you along the way. This is more true for other people. For me personally, my dad always has this running joke that none of us have black tax. And I mean, yes, he's right. Like, we really don't. But I have seen the impact of black tax, because I've seen my parents and what they do. And I've also seen like other people around me and what they do for their families. And I think for this, I think people mustn't view it as like a draining task. If you have the ability to help, you should help.
Sure.
But the key thing is, if you have the ability, not that you're helping using debt. If you can't afford yourself, then you can't actually help. And you need to make people understand that. And the thing is, you move to a big city, you buy a car, people think you have money. And it's the funniest thing. The more you buy, the more people think you have money. And I understand why they think like that, but actually you have less money. If I just bought a car, it means I have a new debt that I'm servicing, potentially.
Sure.
So I really don't have that money.
Yeah.
But what I say with people in the book is create boundaries, but like not weird boundaries like, oh, I'm going to choose my peace this month.
Yeah.
No, you're also disrupting a whole ecosystem. If you're saying you're going to contribute, make sure you're contributing a set amount every month and it comes in at the same time, so that they can also manage their expectations. They also know, oh, Uzama is going to send this amount on this day. Because if 1 month you're sending 10,000 and then the next you're sending 1,000, you're confusing them.
Sure.
They also can't plan. I don't think anyone wakes up wishing to be like dependent on someone else, but if they're in that circumstance, they appreciate your help, but also still give them the dignity of like allowing them to budget, but also make sure that they budget. Like, help them budget, so that they're not coming mid-month and say, yo, something just happened, now we need this.
Sure, that's brilliant.
Yeah. Don't make your emergency my emergency, because I'm done, I don't have any more. Yeah. And that's why emergency funds are also so important. Even people who are receiving black tax should try save some for a rainy day, so they're not always asking the source every time something comes up.
How do you know when your emergency fund is healthy? Like, what is a good sign that like, okay, this is good?
They usually say 3 to 6 months of your expenses. So if no money came in, you'd still be able to live for 3 to 6 months. But if you're an entrepreneur, you're a creator, I want to say even 12 months.
Wow.
Especially because sometimes inflows don't match outflows. So you don't want to be stuck where it's like, I have money, I've invoiced it, I'm just waiting for it. No. If you have an emergency fund, you should be fine. But also, just as a side tip, if you are in business, always get 50% upfront, like if you can. People take forever to pay, but you've done the service, you've released the good work.
Oh, yes.
Take 50% upfront. At least you can fight for the other half later on.
How can we build our funds though, if we are still, with the responsibilities of, sending money home and all of that? Like, how are we able to build wealth? is essentially is what I'm asking. So I think a lot of people feel like this sounds very privileged. You know? But I remember you even saying you started it earlier, it's just 10 Rand, you know, and all of that kind of stuff. Like, how do we get into the mindset of like, you can't do it, but it's just, it feels like there's just too much.
And I like your question is great. Wow, I feel like I'm going to say all your questions are great because I'm loving them, but I understand. And I feel like if I heard me speaking back then, I would have rolled my eyes like, oh, Thule.
You don't know what I'm going through.
You know, and the fact that it's what in the 20s, if you're still starting out, you're not going to have everything on lock. I promise you. Sure. I remember there was a time where I crashed out because I wanted KFC dunked wings. Oof. And I was just like, I can't even afford it. I was like, my budget doesn't allow. I was like, what? This is not good. I was making money and spending that money to go make more money. Like all my money was going towards rent and my car and groceries. And I wasn't eating cute groceries like what my mom used to like give us. So I was just like, this is insane. I was richer as a student. I get it. I get it. But also don't put yourself under too much pressure. I know even finishing your apartment, you see these cute apartments and people have these cute vlogs and a beautiful couch and a nice mirror and you want that. Yeah. Relax. You guys are not starting from the same starting point. Some people have parents who've given them money. Some people are also, you know, dating people who give them a lot of money and, you know, there's a lot that you don't know. So don't compete even with your colleagues. You guys are not starting from the same you know, starting point. So relax. Everything takes time. But we also have things like what you call it, income protection insurance. So when, I don't know if you've seen like how some celebrities will insure their legs or their breasts, or, you know, like I think Rihanna insures her legs. Ronaldo also and Messi also insure their legs because obviously that's their money makers. And then I think someone insures their breasts. And I was like, that's very interesting. Okay. But as normal people, there's no point in us insuring. I mean, you can. But our most valuable asset is our brain, right? Because you use your brain to work. And that's, you know, that's what you should look after. And insurance is basically trying to protect yourself from things that could bankrupt you. So if you were to get an injury, or if you were to get sick, you can't work. And if you can't work, you can't make money. Yeah. Income protection insurance is something that could probably help you, especially if you're still trying to build this emergency fund. Because if you drop down and you're in hospital tomorrow, touch wood again. I'm not very superstitious, but you know, I don't want to take my chances. But that would kick in. There's also things like you know, disability cover and all, like there's a lot of covers that people can look into and read up on. I just want to say that people obviously mustn't take too many things from too many different people thinking, if I fall sick, these people will pay me and these people will pay me. No, insurance is never meant to enrich you. It's meant to put you back to where you were. Yeah. So yeah.
There was something that you said in the book that really, I don't know why, it just struck a chord in me when you said that like being employed essentially isn't meant to make you rich or whatever, you know. And isn't that why we work, you know, so we can like get there, you know, get to a point where we feel so wealthy and stuff?
Don't get me wrong, you can make a lot of money through employment, and you probably will, especially if you continue to upskill and you get the promotions and all of that. But it's also not really in your hands. You have to wait for a position to be open for you to get promoted, and it's not just you. There's other people in your department, so you might not get it. But also, when you're in a work environment, with every promotion, it's very easy to also like upscale your life. So you keep upgrading. No longer a manager, I'm now a senior manager. New car,
expensive.
You know, so then what usually happens is people fall into that lifestyle creep where every increase in your income is met with an increase in expenses. And then you actually never really feel the impact of your growth in terms of income. Wow. So not to say you can't get rich, you actually really can. Like if I get a great enough offer that puts me back in the office, but it would have to be so tailored to me and my life, I would take it. Like I said, being in business is a very stressful thing. It's not all glamorous and you're a CEO and all of that. No, but it just needs to make sense for me.
What is the importance of time, right, when we're investing and all the rest? Because I think another thing also why sometimes it might not feel as exciting is that you just can't enjoy it now. You know, how do you develop like the discipline and stuff to be able to just, you know, trust, you know, because another thing is also, you know, that feeling of like, but you could die today, or but you, like, you know, and that it's just, it feels, but like, what is the importance of just starting early and all the rest?
I can tell you read the book, and I'm humbled.
It was so good. You wrote it for me. You literally wrote it for me. You had me in mind
because your questions are leading me, and it's like, oh, you know ball. Time is the magic multiplier. So in the book, we say there's a wealth creation formula. And by we, I mean I. I don't know why I speak in plural. Because I'm married. It's because I'm married.
Sweet. Oh, Samoa. I so wish.
No, I was saying the other day on Instagram, Guti, or wrongy. Like, I am milking it. I'm loving it. I'm living
my husband this.
I'm living my 13-year-old dream. But time, back to your question, time is so important because, like I told you, when I quantify those little 250s that I kept putting away, I should have only had a certain amount, but I had a higher amount because time, the highs and lows, my money was able to, you know, grow during that time. So if a lot of people will delay things, I'll be honest, even when saving for retirement, they'll be like, oh no, I'll do it later. I'll do it when I earn more. And I get it. You're probably able to take on a lot more expenses or policies when you earn more. That's fine. But what you don't realize is that you're now playing catch up.
Oh, yes.
You then have to put in a lot more money to be at the same level as someone who started with a very small amount, but was consistent from quite early. So don't forget about time. Like, time it's the magic multiplier, and you can't buy time. Time is actually, have you ever watched that movie? I think it's called In Time.
Yes.
Is it the one with Justin Timberlake where like you have like
years
on your arm and you pay in time?
Oh, what a brilliant movie. You're taking me back. Yes, absolutely.
I love that movie. It actually was also like the genesis of me realizing that actually money comes and goes. Making money is so easy. Asterisk.
I'm sorry, wait.
Asterisk. Okay, asterisk, right? I'll explain it
Put
later.
us on.
But making money is easy and losing money is also easy.
Yes.
But time, you cannot make more time. So that's the real finite resource. That's the real pressure, which is why I say I want to work so hard and make so much money so that I can buy back my time. Money comes and goes. You and I can win a competition 2 days from now that we've never entered and get like 10 million. Yay.
Hallelujah.
But the time that you and I spent here, you can't get it back.
Oh, that was actually so romantic.
I know.
That was so.
I always said if I was a guy, I would have been a charmer. But
you
yes,
been
time.
Up there, yeah.
No, I would have been a decent person. Trust me. I mean, I look at my brothers; they're pretty decent people. I'm actually the weird one in my family.
Really?
Yeah, I'm the black sheep, and I'm a pretty good sheep.
You're a great.
Oh,
you've changed my life.
No,
honestly,
but it shows
like,
you how great my brothers are. So I think that's also why I want to be a mom so bad, because I'm like, I feel like my parents had a very easy parenthood. So I hope my kids don't.
Okay, wait, with the little time we have, I need to speak about that. Children.
Mm-hmm.
When is it the right time?
Hey.
Because it's just, I mean, no one's ever prepared, no one's ever ready, but like, when can we say, yeah,
Do
now?
You know how expensive children are?
Unbelievable.
Children are so expensive.
And getting more expensive every year.
And I've spoken to a lot of parents.
Yeah.
And a lot of their responses are like, oh no, everything works out. God provides.
They don't speak about the stress you go through.
I get it. Like, I get it. But I'm also just like, you need to give me something more tangible, bro.
Work with me.
I'm a mathematician. Like, I'm a formula person. And that's why in the book, I actually quantified it. Like, I tried to quantify because I was like, let's see. And I compared it to the SASA grant because I was like, hey, boo, this is the SASA grant, but this is the average cost of raising a child. The gap is massive.
Yeah.
But obviously, it's still possible. You can still have children, but I think I don't want to have children and figure it out. But also, someone also said you'll never reach a point where you're ready, as long as it makes sense. My mom actually approached me before I got married, and she's like, Kumalo, I know you want to have children when you're married and all of that, but because children are such a big part of your goal, if you feel like you're ready and you can financially manage your own child, you can have a child. It's okay. And I was like, and my mom is very traditional. I was like, I appreciate that.
Wow,
like,
yeah.
I'm not going to need it though because the letter's coming, but I appreciate it though.
Sure.
After you get married, now everyone's like, when are you having kids? Please, we are still enjoying our...
For sure.
We're in a dink mode. Come on, like, you know.
Life is beautiful. Life is rosy.
Life is great.
I love that. And I love you literally glowing. I love how...
And don't say glowing because glowing is associated with synonymous. So say...
But you are, like, you're radiating so much. And I think it's such a beautiful... There's something that you said where you're like, you don't worry about money anymore. You don't stress. And I thought that was so... What a relief. What a great place to be at, you know, like... you are doing your own thing, you know, you're married to someone you're in love with, you're thinking about, like, you're not, I mean, yes, it comes with the stresses, but I feel like you're in such a place where a lot of us want to be, like contentment and freedom also, you know.
You know, you might think, oh, she must have so much money now that she doesn't worry about money. No.
That's not what I'm saying.
It's a thing of, I've always stressed about it.
Yeah.
But I've never truly gone without. So why do I keep stressing about it? Like,
sure.
It's like stress is good. I'm not saying don't stress at all because you'll be complacent, but don't curl up and you know, you're like, you can't do anything because you're just like, oh my goodness, what's gonna happen?
Yeah.
No, you've never not had it when you needed it. But also, again, speaking from a place of privilege, and I get that. Which is why I actually was speaking to a lot of people, even whilst writing the book. I was having a lot of conversation with people because I didn't want to write a book that was only for me or someone like me.
Yeah.
I wanted it to be for almost every South African, whether you are starting from very little or you have quite a bit. You can still understand it. And the book itself, the English is basic. I don't want to use these big words. Oh, your ROI, your return on, you know, no.
Yeah.
Someone who doesn't have a finance background doesn't truly understand that.
Yeah.
Use simple English because someone actually said, if you can't explain it basically, it means you don't understand it well enough. So I was like, this is sounding so complex. Even when we were going back with the editor, obviously they try to, you know, clean up the grammar a bit and all that. I'd be like, but I don't want to use this word. The moment you use this word, you're actually throwing off people because now they have to go and check what it means. We have a glossary though in the book. We have a glossary. So there are some words where I can't really get out of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, the book, you should be able to read it and know exactly where to go from there.
Yeah. I really, truly appreciate it. And I wish I had more time because there's so much still, you know, like but I mean, because you don't have time, you can always check the book, you know, and figure everything else out there and stuff. But yeah, thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me.
It was honestly,
I feel like time flew.
I cannot believe it came and it went.
Yeah.
But yeah, is there any thing you want to leave off with in terms of, you know, any advice you want to give to anyone who's just starting and is thinking about like, yeah, where do I begin?
I think my first thing would be define what wealth means to you. The moment you understand what truly makes you happy, what truly makes you content, you'll be able to then, you know, structure your goals and structure your money to help you get to that, you know, that ultimate goal. Don't get confused by the noise. A lot of people are doing a lot of things. You don't have to do everything that they're doing. Understand what you like, what makes you happy, and then go for it. Like, go for it. And also, nothing is embarrassing or cringy when you're wealthy.
So true. I love that. Thank you.
Go for it.
Please tell everybody where they can find you.
You can find me on all socials, obviously.
Let's go.
So on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter, I'm Nokuhle_Chamoto. You can also just search Nokuhle Kumalo without the H, and you'll find me. On YouTube, it's Lomaku by Nokuhle. And funny, Lomaku is just Kumalo, just the other way around.
Oh,
so you can search Lomaku or you can search Nokuhle Kumalo. You'll find me. And I can't wait to meet you guys, and I love what you guys are doing here. I really do love it. And I will keep listening.
Thank you. Thank you so, so, so much. As always, I'm sending my love. Goodbye.
What in the 20s is going on? In the 20s, yes. The 20s, baby. What in the 20s is going on? I am here for my 20s, baby. This is the 20s.